Ladies and gentlemen, for our first debate, we'll show you a video. Now, this video is of a meeting that was held just 2 days before the violent clashes that took place in Kanpur. People associated with multiple organizations, including Hayat Zafar Hashmi, attended the meeting as he's seen in the video. We're going to play that out in a short while from now. Hashmi is one of the main accused in this case and is sent to the police custody now. Religious slogans were raised in the meeting. Strategy was being prepared regarding the Bandh. Now the question is, after all this evidence that is out in the open, can this be a legitimate question? That were these clashes completely planned? Let's take a look and then we debate.
More than 25 arrests later, the 4 main conspirators in the Kanpur clashes were sent to 14-day custody today.
We are going through the WhatsApps of those mobiles, Instagram posts, Facebook posts, and we are looking into each and every aspect with whom he was linked, with whom he was talking. The whole network will be discovered and it will be smashed systematically.
Political connection?
That cannot be denied, but we will establish it and we'll take action accordingly.
Any PFI connection?
We are looking into it. We have found some clues. We will give you a version once we are clear about it.
And while the links of accused with the Congress and Samajwadi Party have emerged, Republic has accessed a video of the meeting, which held just 2 days before the violence. It is clear that the Bandh was planned during this meeting. And now with political links emerging, the question arises, were these clashes premeditated?
यहाँ पे उस प्रदर्शनकारियों का पूरा हुजूम जुलूस जा रहा था। यहाँ पर वो एक शख्स जो बहस कर रहा था, यहाँ पर आता है, ऐसे करके रुमाल दिखाता है और सारी जो मुस्लिम समुदाय के लोग हैं, सारे लोग इधर आ जाते हैं, हमला बोल देते हैं। और वैसे ही इस तरफ से हजारों की संख्या में ठेले में पत्थर, बम और तमंचे लेकर आते हैं और सीधे अटैक कर देते हैं हाथे पे।
Were the clashes planned during the said meeting? With the formation of an SIT and the emergence of this new video, can a conspiracy be ruled out? Let's debate.
Joining us on the burning question is Feroz Bakhtar Ahmed. He is a former Chancellor of the Maulana Azad National Urdu University. Joining us from the national capital, Karan Verma, author and political analyst, joining us from Lucknow. Dr. Vikram Singh. Sumair Rana would be joining us in a short while from now, spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. Kapil Madan, advocate and political analyst, and Dr. Abdul Manan, who is the spokesperson of AIMIM. Let me straight away begin. The burning question right now, Dr. Vikram Singh, is that we put out enough evidence. Kanpur Police Commissioner Dr. Vikram Singh comes on record to say that we cannot wish away Popular Front of India's links as far as this case goes. Now, this is what the Kanpur Police Commissioner is saying, not us. I want Dr. Vikram Singh and Kapil Madan to come up on this debate. It's very clear from the videos that have come in, evidence that suggests that this was completely pre-planned. If it was pre-planned, Dr. Vikram Singh, the objective was to basically destabilize the situation in the state of Uttar Pradesh.
Absolutely. Good evening, gentlemen. I have been Senior Superintendent of Police for Kanpur for 3 years and I know what I'm talking about. The 5 police stations where the disturbances, with the epicenter of the disturbances, Bajaria, Chamanganj, Pekanganj, Kotwali and Collectorganj. And the way in this happened, and in your opening video footages, you showed the meetings in which the way and the tone and tenor of the meetings, the slogans were raised, and also the allegations that these big bats were bought on a handcart and also country-made weapons. I'm not sure about the country-made weapons. I'm also not sure of the Molotov cocktails, but I'm sure that the brick bats were brought because this is now a proven record as per police investigation. I also heard Mr. Meena, the police commissioner, say that the needle of suspicion is on PFI and the SDV, the needle of suspicion. My recommendation would be to the ATS and to the SIT to go to the root of this. Earlier also during the course of Delhi riots, the Bengaluru riots, also the anti-CA agitation, we did talk of the PFI and the SDPI, but conclusive evidence was still not collected. I would say that if there is an allegation and a serious one, let us get it. But what is known in public domain is a serious attempt to burn Kanpur, and the state of Uttar Pradesh was there, and suitable measures need to be taken to give them a lesson. And whoever is behind them,
Absolutely.
SDPI, PFI,
Dr.
or any
Singh,
outfit, they need to be taken to task.
Now, Dr. Singh, on the burning question, we also have Sumaya Rana, who's a spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. Earlier in the day, we had information regarding links with the Samajwadi Party. Sumaya Rana, your party says that we do not know who this man Qureshi is. He's left the party just 15 days ago. Can you really tell me that 15 days ago this person leaves the party, and now you're saying that you have nothing, no role to play whatsoever in this entire clash that has taken place in Kanpur? Just first question, do you or do you not know Mr. Qureshi, whose name has come up in these clashes?
Actually, I really don't know who is this Qureshi. लेकिन जहाँ तक देखिए बात है पॉलिटिकल पार्टी से रिलेशन का, तो इतनी बड़ी पॉलिटिकल
सुमैया राना, आपके समाजवादी पार्टी ने एक लेटर, समाजवादी पार्टी ने एक लेटर जारी की। मैं चाहूंगा कि आप देखिए, आपके सामने, अगर आपके सामने अगर टीवी है तो आप देखिएगा, अभी हम वही लगाने वाले, वही चिट्ठी जो आपके पार्टी ने जारी की, जहां पे वो साफ तरीके से कुरैशी का नाम लेते हैं। आप वो देखिए, मैं चाहूंगा कि आप वो देखेंगे, उसके बाद ये हमें कहिए। आप देखिए 10 सेकेंड में हम लोग वही चिट्ठी, आपकी ही पार्टी ने जो चिट्ठी जारी की, वही चिट्ठी हम आप पूरे दर्शकों को दिखाएंगे। क्या आप कह सकते हैं कि 15 दिन पहले जो आदमी आपके पार्टी में था, आज 15 दिन बाद वो नहीं है, तो उनके साथ कोई लिंक नहीं है? आप लोगों को कोई जानकारी नहीं थी कि ऐसे कुछ होने वाला है?
ऑब्वियसली
ये देखिए, आपके लिए हम लोगों ने लेटर लगाया है।
यस, मैं देख रही हूँ। बिल्कुल, हमारी पार्टी एक बहुत बड़ी पार्टी है जिसमें तमाम तरह के लोग हैं।
इसके बारे में आपको क्या कहना है?
आप नहीं उसको कनेक्ट कर सकते हैं कि
सुमैया जी, आपको इस चिट्ठी के बारे में क्या कहना है? तो आप ये कहते हैं कि आपकी पार्टी का कोई रोल नहीं है?
नहीं है। ऑब्वियसली पार्टी का रोल क्यों होगा? अब आप एक पर्टिकुलर किसी इंसान के साथ आप पूरी पार्टी को इन्वॉल्व करना चाह रहे हैं, मतलब ये तो बहुत ही अजीबोगरीब बात हो गई। आप खुद सोचिए।
पर वो है, आप पहले आपने सुमैया राना, आप जब डिबेट शुरू होने से पहले जब मैंने आपको सवाल पूछा कि आप इनको जानते कि नहीं जानते, तो आप कह रहे कि आप नहीं जानते उनको। अब आप कह रहे हैं कि ठीक है, 15 दिन पहले हो सकता था कि वो हमारे पार्टी में। साफ तरीके से तो बताइए कि ये निजाम कुरैशी आखिरकार है कौन?
बहस का मुद्दा,
आप मेरे सवाल के जवाब दीजिए ना।
नुपुर शर्मा के ऊपर वक्त रहते कार्रवाई हो जाती तो आज ये नौबत ही ना आती जिस बात को लेके आप यहाँ पे बहस कर रहे हैं। लेकिन आपने बहस ये कर दी है कि
आपको ये सुमैया राना, आपको ये नहीं लगता, ये आपको ये मुद्दा नहीं लगता सुमैया राना, आपको ये मुद्दा नहीं लगता कि कानपुर में आखिरकार जो हुआ है, आखिरकार जो हुआ था वो आपको मुद्दा नहीं लग रहा है? आप अभी नुपुर शर्मा पे बात करना चाहती है क्योंकि आपको वो सूट करता है।
नो, नॉट एक्चुअली।
बट जब सवाल ये उठाया जा रहा है कि आपके पार्टी और आपके पार्टी के रोल के बारे में उठाया जा रहा है, तो आपको प्रॉब्लम होने लग गई।
श्रवण,
आपने ब्लास्ट कहां से हुआ उस पर ध्यान नहीं देना।
फिरोज भट्ट,
आपको तो उसकी चीजों पे जाना है।
फिरोज भट्ट,
ये ब्लास्ट हुआ कहां? ना ये बयान होता, ना ये रोज
sure. Am I audible to you, Shravan?
रिएक्शन होता।
Am I audible to you, Shravan?
Yes, I'm audible. I want you to respond to Sumaiya Rana, who believes that right now we should forget that what has really happened in Kanpur. The clashes actually take place. There is already a kind of pattern that has basically emerged. You've seen, and what I would also like to do is, Firoz Bhakt, I would just put out the videos. Sumaiya Rana was not there. She hadn't joined the debate, but we had put out the videos of how it is very clear that there was an attempt to disrupt the law and order situation in the state of Uttar Pradesh. Can anyone deny the fact that these are videos we are going to put out? I want you to respond to it, and also tell Ms. Sumaira Rana, at the end of the day, suddenly 15 days later, they say that, okay, we look here, we don't know this person. There is no link whatsoever. Take a look at these videos. Sumaira Rana, I want you to, आप ये बताना, ये देखने के बाद आप ये बताइए, आपको क्या आपको नहीं लगता है कि ये मुद्दा है और इसमें सवाल उठाना चाहिए? लोगों के पास हथियार था, लोगों के पास पत्थर है, आप ये कहते हैं कि ये मुद्दा ही नहीं है आपके लिए?
एक्चुअली मुद्दा ये है कि जो उपद्रवी थे उनको सजा होनी चाहिए, उनके खिलाफ कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए, ना कि आप किसी पॉलिटिकल पार्टी को इन्वॉल्व करें उसमें। आपके लिए ये मुद्दा होना चाहिए।
लेकिन आप पॉलिटिकल पार्टी के लिंक्स आ रहे हैं,
पार्टी से यू आर लिंकिंग विद अस।
We are linking because this is exactly what the police has also indicated.
May I submit?
Feroz Bakht, I want you to also come in right now. You've seen the kind of videos that have basically emerged.
All right.
Does it or does it not appear to be completely pre-planned?
All right, yes, if I am audible, Shravan, let me begin first of all paying my homage to many people who unfortunately lost their lives in Uttarakhand. Now, having said that, Shravan, the pictures which we saw in those videos, people picking up stones and then many more pictures of people bringing those stones onto the thelas, into the boxes and whatnot, this is a very unfortunate situation. And while I was listening to the former DIG, Mr. Vikram Singh, in fact, his was the voice of sanity and the voice of reason. Come what may, India is a land of peace. It is Darul Aman, as Maulana Azad and many other, senior Muslim, scholars have said. Now, the kind of thing we have seen in Kanpur, and it was done at a time, you say it is pre-planned. Yes, police is working on it. It might be pre-planned. The way one person was showing a white, handkerchief, and then stoning started. And, let me tell you one thing. The president was there. The prime minister was there. They were not very far away from this unfortunate happening. So, ultimately, what I have to say, Shravan, just give me 10 more seconds, that, whether... I mean, Sumaya was trying to pass the buck over to whatever, was said by Nupur Sharma. Nupur Sharma is not the topic. And let us appreciate BJP and the system of this government. They have sidelined Nupur Sharma, right? What I feel is Nupur Sharma should be educated about Prophet Muhammad and she should ask for being pardoned. Now, having said that, nobody has appreciated the effort of BJP for removing her from, in fact, the panel of spokespersons. But anyway, this should not happen. First thing. Second thing, let me complete, just let me complete. What I mean to say is, India is a land of harmony. It is a land of Saja Virasat. It is a land of Ganga Jamni Tehzeeb. And this Ganga Jamni Tehzeeb has to come from both sides, from both Muslims as well as Hindus. And if we spite it, if we destroy it, India will be destroyed. So what to all my Hindu brethren, to all my Muslims is, whether from Kanpur or any nook and cranny of India, we have to live in peace. We have to live together. We have to respect each and every god and goddess. Yes.
Shravan, can I come in here, please?
All right, all right.
You made a point. Kapil Madan, let me also just tell you this. Over the last few days, we have put out the PFI files. Starting from the money that they have actually received from the Gulf countries, what was it actually being utilized for? Agencies indicate that the anti-CAA protests were also orchestrated by none other than the Popular Front of India. Now it turns out that the Kanpur Police Commissioner is coming on record and saying that we cannot really, wish away the role of a Popular Front of India. There is a pattern that is once again emerged. So, it has happened in the state of Assam.
Shravan, I would, exactly wanted to speak on the same subject, and I wanted to raise the same point. Now, see what is the situation. Now you have evidence, some evidence which you are talking that there were, there are some reports that suggest they were given some sort of funding for the CA protests, whatever happened in Karnataka. The point, the basic point that we are forgetting, if you have overwhelming evidence against PFI, why don't you take steps to ban PFI? Why don't you take steps to, declare that as a forbidden organization? You don't do that. That's point number one. What does it show? It show that there is some, problem with the system. That despite having in possession of the evidence, you don't take step. And if there are repercussions, if they are indeed contributing in the violence, then
fair enough.
I would
Shravan,
first
can I come
seek
in here?
accountability. Then I would first seek
Karan.
accountability from the government.
Karan.
That आपके पास सब कुछ है, आपके पास evidence भी
Karan,
है.
fair enough.
आपके पास-
Kapil Madan makes a, Kapil Madan makes.
Kapil Madan actually
Kapil Madan makes a sensible point here, Karan
Makes a
Verma.
fair
The
point.
question here is
I'll
that
agree.
there is mounting evidence against
Right.
there is mounting evidence against the Popular Front of India. Over the last few days, Republic has been at the forefront of exposing
I know.
the acts of a Popular Front of India from multiple cities, from multiple states. There has been a growing chorus. You have a sitting
Shravan.
chief minister demanding that Popular Front of India should be banned. But Kapil Madan is saying
Right.
that there is a problem with the system. If there is enough evidence
a
against them,
problem
why
with the
don't you go ahead and ban them and say that they are
So-
proscribed organization?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Shravan, may I?
Look, the problem here is everyone wants to politicize this entire PFI debate without realizing the fact that we are sitting on the single biggest time bomb right now in PFI. PFI in 2012, this is way before Modi came into power, the Kerala government filed an affidavit before the court and said PFI is nothing but a resurrection of SIMI. The Kerala government time and again has seized laptops, CDs, but unfortunately, they've not had prosecutable evidence to a point where they could get PFI banned. In Jharkhand in 2019, they came very close to it, but again, it did not stand the test in the courts. So the thing is, what are we waiting? We have to give it to PFI. They are an evil organization.
Kapil Madan wants to come in. Kapil Madan wants to respond to you.
Outsmarted. No, just let
Karan,
me complete.
Kapil
Just let
Madan
me
wants to
complete. One
respond to
minute.
you.
PFI has
Shravan,
outsmarted our government,
Go ahead.
our system, all along the way. And if
Okay,
we keep
Kapil,
sitting on it,
let
and
him complete
it's
and
up
then
to
you
the
can
central
respond.
government right
Let
now
him complete and then you
to
can
bring up
respond.
evidence and put them to book and ban this organization for good. Otherwise, we are sitting on time bombs. We're going to have major catastrophes all along the way.
Now, Shravan, I would just, like to, respond to my friend here. So he is making a self-destructing argument. He says that, okay, you are sitting on some, time bomb, but you tried prosecuting them, but you didn't have material that was sufficient to entail the conviction or to entail the ban. So what does that signify?
So
I
that
mean,
shows the weakness of the prosecution, Kapil. That shows the weakness of the prosecution.
That's
shows
precisely
the
my
government
point.
has to be
That's-
more strong-willed in their intent.
Karan, that's
We cannot
precisely my
wish away
point.
that PFI is
That's
innocent.
Dr. Vikram
that's
Singh.
precisely why we are blaming the government. You can't simply make noises.
I agree
You
with
can't
you on
simply
that,
make
but let's
allegations.
not politicize it. But let's
Who's
not
politicizing?
it. Let's
No,
not
we
patronize it the way
seeking an
Congress is
accountability.
Dr. Vikram Singh.
Now
Okay,
seeking an
Kapil Madan,
accountability
Kapil
from the
Madan,
government.
Kapil Madan, you made your
ban
point.
the
Let me bring in
organization.
Dr. Vikram
It
Singh,
is
someone who
up to the
understands the
BJP to
situation
ban
much
the
better.
organization,
Dr. Vikram Singh
I do
has been on the
understand.
ground.
Congress and others
You know,
are saying
I do understand the concern of the
let me bring in
learned-
Dr. Vikram Singh also. Dr. Vikram Singh, that's the problem right now. That's the problem right now. The problem here is that we may keep saying that there is mounting evidence against the Popular Front of India. There is absolutely no doubt about that. Be it multiple agencies, the Enforcement Directorate, NIA, everyone has come up with their own set of investigations, given it to their respective ministries. But the fact of the matter is that not enough has been done. And as Karan has been saying that, okay, this is a ticking bomb, but what really happens when it explodes?
They both respected gentlemen have a point. Mr. Karan also, Mr. Kapil Madan, they have very relevant points and they have been made. Let me tell you, I was responsible for collecting and collating evidence for the SIMI, and it took us 5 years to collect the evidence and get SIMI banned. It did not happen overnight. Very patient and arduous homework done by the entire country, all the states, and it took us 5 years. But today we have the advantage of the NIA, we have the advantage of other states and other IT-enabled facilities which can make things faster. But to be helpless and a mute spectator that we keep on leveling allegations without stepping a step forward, that is what bothers me. Raising allegation is one thing. In matters of prime importance, as the respected gentlemen have mentioned, that it is a cause of concern. But if it is a cause of concern, are we doing enough and adequate about it? Let me say that in a scale of 1 to 10, we barely stand out of 3 out of 10. If this is what our awareness and our action plan in respect of matters of prime national security Well, I would say, Shravan, through you, that the national security agencies must come together on the same platform. What took us 5 years, I think it is perfectly doable in 6 months. We have been crying hoarse for the last 2.5 years, and yet I don't see anything happening on the ground. This is the area of concern.
But raising allegations will not serve the purpose of getting it banned in the
no, we have spoken.
It has to be legally justified.
Dr. Singh, I'll come back. That's a fair point, and that's exactly what we have been also raising. But let me come back to the issue at hand. The Kanpur clashes. The Kanpur clashes. It's a classic case. Gentlemen, hold on. Let me at least take the question right now. Dr. Abdul Manan of the AIMIM has been waiting patiently. Dr. Manan, आपसे जो सवाल करना चाहूंगा, क्योंकि एक तरफ से देखिए क्या है कि भड़काऊ बातें किया जाता है, वीडियोस जारी होती हैं, आप वो देखते हैं कि पहले ही बंद आने से पहले ही आप रिलीजियस स्लोगन्स लगाए जाते हैं, वो मीटिंग में भड़काने की कोशिश किया जाता है, पॉलिटिकल लिंक्स निकल के आते हैं। फिर सुमैया राणा जी जो समाजवादी पार्टी से थे वो ये कह रही कि हमसे सवाल क्यों उठाया जा रहा है, इसमें तो कोई पॉलिटिकल लिंक है ही नहीं।
सर, एक सिंपल सी बात है जिसको आप लोग इतने देर से बहस कर रहे हो, बड़े बड़े लोग बैठे हो, डिबेट में ये बात नहीं ला रहे हो कि इट इज फेल्योर ऑफ द बीजेपी गवर्नमेंट इन उत्तर प्रदेश, इट इज फेल्योर ऑफ कानपुर पुलिस इन उत्तर प्रदेश। इस बात पे बहस क्यों नहीं कर रहे हो? जिस मामले में पहले 3 दिन से इन्फॉर्म कर दिया गया हो कि फ्राइडे को बंद किया जाएगा, और उसी दिन नरेंद्र मोदी जी को वहां पहुंचना था, प्रधानमंत्री को उसी दिन राष्ट्रपति को वहां पहुंचना था, और उसके बाद पुलिस ने इतने बड़े मामले को हल्के में लिया, लापरवाही में लिया, तो वहां के तो पुलिस ऑफिसर्स को पहले सस्पेंड करना चाहिए था।
Is it not your failure
उन्होंने ये कहा
that you are trying to spew venom, you are trying to pour vitriolic? Is it not your failure that you are trying that Muslims and Hindus should fight? Is it not your failure that you are trying to? अरे सुन तो लो यार,
सुनो यार, ऐसा है कि
आप उगलते हो, आप जहर उगलते हो, और आप हिंदुओं मुस्लिमों को लड़ाने की बात करते हो। आपके जो नेता हैं ओवैसी बिरादरान, अरे सुन तो लो यार, आपके जो नेता है ओवैसी बिरादरान जिस तरीके से वो आग लगाते हैं,
फिरोज भट्ट साहब, आपको जवाब देने के लिए मैं टाइम दूंगा, बट डॉक्टर अब्दुल मनान, आप ये कह रहे हैं कि चलिए ये बीजेपी की फेलियर है कि उन्होंने लॉ एंड ऑर्डर सिचुएशन को संभाल नहीं पाए, बट आप उन पे क्या कहेंगे जिन लोगों ने भड़काने की कोशिश की? सबसे पहले तो
पहली बात, अगर भड़काने की कोशिश पे
अरेस्ट तो होने ही वाले, अरेस्ट तो हर कोई होने वाला है, पर सवाल तो ये डॉक्टर अब्दुल मनान, सवाल ये हर बार उठता है कि जब ऐसे सिचुएशंस होते हैं उत्तर प्रदेश में, जब ऐसे सिचुएशंस होते हैं, सवाल ये उठाया जाता है हर बार कि भाई वो लोग कौन हैं जो हर बार भड़काने की कोशिश करते हैं।
बोलो आप लोग, बोलो, फिर मुझसे क्यों पूछ रहे?
असदुद्दीन
बोल लीजिए आप लोग।
प्यार की भाषा।
डॉक्टर अब्दुल मनान, आपसे मैंने सवाल पूछा है, आपसे मैं सवाल पूछा तो उनके साथ क्या करना चाहिए जो भड़का रहे हैं?
ये बख्श साहब को चुप कराइए ना, ये काहे को बीच में कूद रहे हैं?
फिरोज बख्श साहब,
हेलो,
आप बोलिए, उसके बाद फिरोज जी को लेके आएंगे।
हम ना बोले
नहीं तो ये
फिरोज साहब को उसके बाद लेके आएंगे। डॉक्टर अब्दुल मनान, आप बोलिए, आपको क्या बोलना था?
पहले इनको चुप कराइए तब बोलूंगा
के लिए,
नहीं तो इनको चुप कराइए तब मैं बोलूंगा। आप ये बताइए,
बोलिए, जल्दी बोलिए डॉक्टर अब्दुल मनान, उसके बाद फिरोज भट्ट के साहब के पास आएंगे।
क्यों इतने जल्दी, इतने देर से लोग बोल रहे थे तो हम ही को आप जो जल्दी बोलवा रहे हैं? आप ये कह रहे हो कि कंस्पायरेसी कहां से हुई?
डॉक्टर अब्दुल मनान, आप बोलना चाहते हैं कि नहीं बोलना चाहते? आपको मैंने सवाल 3 बार पूछ चुका हूं आपसे। डॉक्टर अब्दुल मनान, मैंने आपसे 3 बार मैं सवाल पूछ चुका हूं। मेरा सवाल आपसे मैं वापस दोहरा रहा हूं। मेरे आपसे एक सीधा सवाल ये है, जो लोग भड़का रहे हैं उनके साथ क्या करना चाहिए?
भड़का रहे हैं, सबसे पहले तो भड़काया नूपुर शर्मा ने, जिन्होंने रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम के खिलाफ बयान दिया। उसके बाद जिंदल ने भड़काया, उसके बाद एक ही
शर्मा पे डिबेट है या कानपुर पे डिबेट है?
आप अब कहने लग गए कि नूपुर शर्मा के जो नूपुर शर्मा ने जो टीवी चैनल पे कहा, उससे आप ये कहना चाहे कि कानपुर में दंगा होने लग गए?
गवर्नमेंट ऑफ द डे पे
तो कानपुर में किस वजह से हुआ, वजह बताओगे?
Karan Verma, one last word because I'm running out of time. Dr. Abdul Manan, आपसे मैंने 3 बार में तो एक ही सवाल कर चुका है, सवाल का जवाब नहीं आ रहा। आपको लगता है आपको और सुमैया राणा को यही लगता है कि नुपुर शर्मा पे ही डिबेट कर ले, पर सवाल ये उठ रहा है। Karan Verma, one last word from you. Karan Verma, one last word from you. It's very evident, at least if you prima facie, it appears that this was a pre-planned issue. But here, the fact of the matter is that some would say that if this evidence, Karan Verma, one last word from you. If the evidence was already there, why wasn't the government really proactive about it?
The government is proactive in bringing the situation under control. Yes, a lot desires to be done in as far as prosecution of PFI and banning PFI is concerned. But the opposition is in no state to give sermons to them because they have time and again patronized PFI.
Right.
So they should keep shut on it. But as citizens, we have every right to demand more from the government to ban PFI.
Well, fine. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Feroz Bhakt, Karan Verma, Dr. Vikram Singh, Sumayya Rana, Kapil Madan and Dr. Abdul Manan for joining us on the first burning question.